So this is my Zentangle drawing, and I decided to do the designs on the outside, and I did some nice tessellations in the top corners, and then I did some squiggly lines, some intersecting lines, some spikes, and some bubbles. And my favorite part about this drawing was the fan right above the indent of the G. I thought that it had a really cool design, and I liked the way how it just kind of cut each little part off with the next part. This is my origami book, and I thought that it would look bland if I just put white with a few splotches of color, and so instead I drenched the entire thing in paint, and I decided to move the paint around, and I think it would have looked better if I hadn't combed it over, but what are you gonna do? I think it still looks good. And here you can see my color wheel, the negative space, and the landscape with a few happy trees and some little friends. Here you can see the gradation, the implied texture, the actual texture, and I think it looks good. This is my still life drawing. There's a sheep on top of an old time telephone leaning against a tree, and I thought that the sheep was lonely, so I gave it a little dragon friend there. Cute little dragon. And this is the final product of my still life drawing, and you can see the background. I think that the background blends well with the foreground, but I think that the foreground isn't in the foreground. It's kind of just kind of blends weirdly. This was by far my favorite project to do. I just really enjoyed working with the clay, and ever since 6th grade when we've been doing the clay units, I've always done a penguin. And so here I took some glamour shots, and you can really see the beak and the two happy little eyes that I decided to give it as well. This is the glazed but not fired product of my penguin. You can see there's going to be a white belly and orange beak, and then I did white with black pupils for the eyes. And this is the finished product. And the beak it looks kind of a little rusted, and then he's shedding some fur on his belly. But other than that, I think that the penguin is just amazing. It's just could not be better. This was my second favorite project, right behind the clay project. This is my unfinished, where I hadn't done the background yet. I had just laid the outline and hadn't pushed any values yet. And this is my kind of like the midway point, I guess, where you can see the background and you can see where I'm starting to push some values, but none of the values have really been you can't really see anything yet. And this is my finished product. You can see that I really pushed the values as hard as I think I could, and I hatched it a little bit to get the fur and to get where I think the dark places would be, and I made the background darker than the foreground. So this is my acrylic painting. I like the sky, how it blends well together, and how it just looks really nice. And I like how the trees are detailed and how they look. And then the building is kind of just, I don't know. I think I could do it better, but I don't know. And then there's some grassy little patches there you can see. And this is the final product. My favorite part about this is definitely still the sky. As you can see, I put some more detail in the middle ground. I finished the grassy areas. I put some bushes right next to them. And then I put some stones and showed some highlights. And I think it kind of shows depth a little bit. And then on the right side, I put some more little bushes, and I thought I gave them good color. And I thought it was overall a pretty good painting. My favorite part about the prehistoric art was probably finding out what the megaliths like Stonehenge were actually used for. And of course, going back in time was kind of pretty fun as well. And thus concludes this happy little portfolio.